Do you often feel sluggish, perhaps a little puffy around the middle? I'm Barbara O'Neill, and the culprit might just be your liver. The fantastic thing is, you can often give it a significant boost in just 3 days with some straightforward strategies. Stick around until the end, and you might even get a chance to snag a free copy of my book. Now, before we dive in, imagine this: you're the project manager of a massive construction site, a circumflex euros, that's your liver. It's the body's primary detoxification hub, processing everything that comes in and ensuring everything goes out smoothly. Everything you eat, drink, or absorb passes through this amazing organ. So, let's take a look at exactly what's going into your body and how your liver is dealing with it. Start with the food we eat. In the grand history of humankind, we've never consumed carbohydrates in such staggering quantities. We've essentially become a high-carb society. Think about it. Supermarkets dedicate entire aisles to breads, a circumflex euros, a white, whole wheat, sourdough, you name it. Then there are the cereal aisles overflowing with sugary flakes, oats, and granola. And the pasta section: spaghetti, pan, lasagna noodles galore. And cakes, cookies, and biscuits. Speaking of which, what some call crackers, others call biscuits, depending on where you hail from. The carbohydrate parade doesn't stop there. Pizza, a beloved staple loaded with refined flour. Rice, a circumflex euros, white, brown. Jasmine, basmati, a circumflex euros, a cornerstone of diets for billions. Potatoes, appearing as French fries, potato chips, mashed potatoes, and more. And finally, the least nutritious of them all, pure, crystallized acid extracted from the sugarcane plant, a circumflex euros, sugar. It offers little beyond empty calories. But if you live on a farm, this wouldn't qualify as fast food. After all, these carbohydrate-heavy items require preparation. On a farm, the real fast foods are far simpler and healthier: fruits and vegetables. Nature's original convenience foods, readily available at your local produce stand or garden, requiring minimal effort to become a meal. So, what happens when you eat all these carbohydrate-rich foods? Bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, sugar, a circumflex euros, they enter your gastrointestinal tract, where they are broken down into glucose. This simple sugar is absorbed into your bloodstream and transported to the liver via the portal vein. Think of it as the body's main highway. The liver then decides what happens to all that glucose. First stop, body cells. With the help of insulin, glucose enters and goes through glycolysis, a 20-step metabolic journey that converts glucose into pyruvate, yielding only 2 units of energy. But pyruvate is just the beginning. It's shuttled into the cell's mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, where it enters the Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, followed by the electron transport chain. This generates a whopping 36 units of energy per glucose molecule, fueling your body's every move. The liver's role in managing this energy production is critical. But it's also where the story takes a darker turn. The liver isn't just an energy distributor, it's the body's detox commander, filtering everything. Here's the harsh reality: our modern diets are overwhelming it, pushing it to the brink. Supermarkets are overflowing with carbohydrate-laden foods that flood the liver with glucose. The liver does its best to process this deluge, but when there is too much, it converts the excess into fat through lipogenesis. This fat accumulates in the liver, contributing to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and AFD. Many people don't realize the toll that the day pizza, fries, or even seemingly innocent rice bowls take on this vital organ. Instead of focusing on detoxification, the liver becomes bogged down, drowning in a sea of fat. Compare this with fruits and vegetables, which offer the liver a much-needed reprieve. These natural foods are low in carbohydrates and rich in fiber, antioxidants, and nutrients that support detoxification rather than hinder it. They don't overwhelm the liver with glucose or trigger excessive fat storage. Instead, they promote healing and balance. It's time we stop sabotaging our bodies with relentless carbohydrate overload and shift toward whole and processed foods that allow the liver to thrive. The good news is the liver is remarkably resilient. It can recover from this assault, but only if we act decisively by prioritizing real, nutrient-dense options over the processed junk that dominates our diets. This high-carbohydrate lifestyle doesn't just strain the liver, it exhausts the pancreas too. With every carb-heavy meal, the pancreas is forced to pump out more insulin day in and day out. But when you ease up on the carbs and embrace a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole foods, the pancreas finally gets a break. It can relax, recover, and function as it's meant rather than being perpetually overworked. Think of it like this: imagine a hard-working baker, constantly kneading dough for endless loaves of bread. Now, picture that baker finally getting to relax and bake something lighter, like a delicate fruit tart. That's the kind of relief you're giving your pancreas when you switch to a low-carb diet. If you're finding this information helpful, consider letting others know about this content so that you can enhance their well-being. Dr. Atkins' groundbreaking discovery revolves around the idea that 3 key food groups, a circumflex euros of fats, proteins, and fibrous carbohydrates, a circumflex euros, are truly essential for human health. But what does essential really mean in this context? It refers to nutrients that the body cannot produce on its own, requiring us to obtain them through our diet. Take fiber, for instance. It's absolutely vital because it acts like a broom for your digestive system, sweeping through the gut daily to keep it clean and functioning properly. Beyond that, fiber is a powerhouse for delivering nutrients. In many foods, the fiber-rich portions are where the highest concentrations of vitamins and minerals are found. Consider the humble potato. Did you know that the thin layer just beneath the skin contains the greatest density of nutrients? When you peel a potato, you're stripping away much of its nutritional value. We owe a debt of gratitude to chefs like Jamie Oliver, who popularized the practice of leaving potato skins intact, encouraging people to retain that nutrient-packed layer rather than tossing it away. Now, let's think about what happens when we overload our bodies with a high-carbohydrate diet, particularly one heavy in refined sugars and starches. The pancreas, responsible for producing insulin to manage blood sugar, is put under relentless pressure. It's as if it's being shuttered day in and day out to pump out more insulin, leaving it utterly exhausted. But when we shift our eating habits away from these glucose-spiking foods and toward a diet rich in healthy fats and proteins, something remarkable happens. The pancreas finally gets a chance to rest and recuperate. The results speak for themselves. People with stubbornly high cholesterol levels have seen those numbers plummet, not by avoiding rich, satisfying foods like butter, cream, or eggs, but by cutting back on carbs. For years, we've been conditioned to fear dietary fats. But Atkins' work suggests the real culprit is the flood of carbohydrates we've been consuming. Even more astonishingly, some cancer patients have reported shrinking tumors after adopting this approach. Why? Because cancer cells are ravenous for glucose, consuming it at a rate 15 times higher than healthy cells. When you deprive them of that fuel by reducing carb intake, the cancer begins to starve, losing its ability to thrive. Surely essential foods, a circumflex euros, think butter, eggs, and cream, a circumflex euros, don't send your insulin levels soaring, and they provide a foundation for robust overall health. Fiber plays its own critical role, not just in cleansing the gut, but in delivering a steady stream of nutrients to the body. Even a simple choice like heating potatoes with their skins on can significantly boost your nutritional intake. Meanwhile, conditions like fatty liver, which we've long blamed on dietary fats, are actually fueled by excess sugar, not the healthy fats we've been taught to avoid. This brings us to an unsung hero of the plant world, the dandelion. If a lion is the king of the jungle, then the dandelion reigns supreme among garden herbs. Why? Because this bitter herb offers extraordinary benefits. Take a bite of fresh dandelion and you'll notice its sharp, almost overwhelming bitterness, a circumflex euros, a flavor that signals its potency. There's an old saying worth reflecting on here: sweet to the mouth, bitter to the stomach. Sugar embodies this perfectly. It's delightful in the tongue, but wreaks havoc on your digestive system and overall health. Bitter herbs like dandelion, on the other hand, flip the script. They're tough to palate initially, but bring sweetness and relief to the stomach. That bitterness isn't just a quirk of taste, it's a signal to your body. When you consume bitter herbs, they stimulate the liver to release its digestive enzymes, kickstarting the breakdown of fats and toxins. The stomach gets in on the action, too, releasing its own enzymes to aid digestion. Dandelion, in particular, is a champion for the liver, often called the liver herb for good reason. The liver is a remarkable organ, unique in its ability to regenerate and recover. It's the only organ in the human body capable of regrowing itself, which is why surgeons can perform a liver transplant using just a small portion of the organ, confident that it will rebuild itself over time. This regenerative power is a gift. Consider the toll that modern diets and lifestyles, often adopted out of ignorance rather than malice, take on our bodies. Without a recoverable liver, many of us might not survive past our 20s. Thankfully, herbs like dandelion step in to support this vital organ, encouraging it to heal and regenerate. A healthy, optimally functioning liver is a formidable defense against disease, including cancer. When the liver is firing on all cylinders, cancer struggles to take root and spread. So, how can we incorporate dandelion into our lives? There are plenty of delicious and practical ways. A friend of mine who spent time traveling through Europe and staying with her German relatives shared a recipe that's become a favorite of mine: a hot potato salad featuring dandelion greens. Picture this: freshly boiled potatoes, still warm, chopped into hearty chunks. Then, heaps of freshly picked dandelion leaves are finely chopped and tossed in, followed by a generous drizzle of olive oil, a sprinkle of crushed garlic, and a pinch of salt. Can't you just imagine the aroma? The smooth, mild flavour of the potatoes pairs beautifully with the rich, fruity notes of olive oil, which not only elevates the dish but also tames the sharpness of the garlic and the bitterness of the dandelion. Each bite is a perfect balance. They circumflex yours, mostly potato coated in that luscious oil, with a hint of salt, a whisper of garlic, and just a touch of dandelion's bite. It's a warm, satisfying dish that transforms the humble ingredients into something truly delicious. This friend, who struggled with low iron levels, noticed something incredible while eating this salad daily in Europe. Her iron issues vanished. She's convinced it was the dandelion, packed with nutrients like iron, that made the difference. But if fresh dandelion isn't your thing, there are other options. You can buy roasted dandelion root from health food stores, which makes a fantastic caffeine-free alternative to coffee. Or you might try a blend called chai dandelion, a warming, flavorful drink that combines roasted dandelion root with a medley of herbs and spices. Unlike traditional chai tea, which contains caffeine and tannins that some find harsh, chai dandelion is smooth and robust, with a depth of flavor that even skeptics of herbal teas can't resist. It's anything but bland. Whether you sprinkle fresh dandelion greens through your salads, whip up that European-inspired hot potato salad, or sip on a mug of roasted dandelion chai, this herb is a game changer. It's the king of the garden, especially when it comes to supporting your liver. Bitter to the mouth, yes, but also sweet to the stomach and vital to reversing conditions like fatty liver. With dandelion by your side, you're giving your body the tools it needs to thrive. Well, there you have it, folks. A simple, natural 3-day plan to kickstart your liver's recovery and reclaim your energy. From Dandelion's detox magic to lemon's alkaline boost and ginger's fat melting power, you've got the tools to turn things around fast. Your liver is resilient, but it's counting on you to give it the support it needs. So tell me, what's one thing you've learned today that's got you excited to take action? Maybe it's how carbs are secretly sabotaging your liver, or how a warm lemon drink can be a game changer for your mornings. Drop a comment below and share one lesson you're taking to heart and how you'll put it into practice in your life. And if you're eager for more insights like these to help you on your path to better health, remember to stay connected, ensuring you never miss new content that could transform your well-being. Your liver will thank you for it.